Oh, hey gang. What's up? About a minute late, lost track of time. Oops. Either way, today is Saturday, it's Keyforge day. And I'm going to be dusting off some of my lesser played competitive decks. I have 3 decks prepared, so lots of repetition of the specific decks, just trying to see how they're pairing in the current meta. A lot of, at least personal experience, a lot of people competitively are playing rush decks again. So I want to see what my rush deck can do, one of my key taxing decks can do, and I'm going to revisit one of my Vault Tour decks from what seems like 10,000 years ago. So I'm going to start with my Vault Tour deck. I might have to add it to my deck list here real quick. So this one is Rascal Vega. This is a Mars Sanctum Shadows deck. It has too much to protect, has Shatterstorm, and then Doorstep to Heaven. So it has a massive amber control in each house. It's got some crazy stuff in Mars. It really doesn't play with a large board. It prefers just to react and then pull the tempo away from my opponent, and then from that point forward set the tempo. But I think the amount of creatures... Yeah, 14 creatures, so they really don't stay on the board. I've got 2 Ammonia Clouds, 5 artifacts, 4 upgrades, 2 of which are Protect the Weak. Not a lot of amber control, not a lot of artifact control. It has a Nexus, but again, when my creatures don't stay on the board, that's can't really do much with a Nexus. Just hoping people join these queues. Got 52 games going, so seems like there's at least 100 people playing, assuming all those games are full. There we go, Peter. Yeah, you can tell I last played on my laptop because my cards are super tiny. Hey, Orion. Don't really want to play the Speed Sigil early. That's going to help my opponent way more than me since I don't have as many creatures. So I'm just going to throw this hand away. And looks like I'm starting with the good old Sanctum start. What do they have? Triple Battle Fleet. Oh my god. I think this is the deck that's been going around that everyone's bandwagoning right now, because this is not the same player that played it last time. Sure. So the thing with this triple Battle Fleet deck that everyone's been playing, you can get your entire deck in your hand. It's the exact same deck. The exact same name. This is not the same player, so people are just net decking this thing. Yeah, so you can get your entire deck in your hand. I would love to have like a punctuated Equilibrium just to wait for him to stack their hand and, yeah, discard it, draw 6 now. I'll go with Mars. Marauder, put a red planet rig on him, squawker him to reap, and let's hit there. I think it is. I remember looking it up. I can't remember me. I've got DOK on in the background, so let me look it up. No, it's not for sale, at least that I'm seeing. But there's multiple people that have marked it as a favorite, and no one has posted ownership pictures, so meh. Let's go Shadows. Let's drop an Umbra, and let's lights out that Valder and Troll. Just because I don't want them to have any fight presence until I have some control options here. Well, we're going for a good old doorstep here. Sanctum. Yep, doorstep to heaven. Remiel. And then protect the weak. That's Hollow Blaster to heal my Ixlo. Hollow Blaster to heal my Ixlo. Check at 6. So I rode this deck to, it was a record of 4-1 in the Vault Tour. So I think I played it rounds 3 through, 8? And lost in the last one because I couldn't control an artifact. It was a lands deck, so I couldn't control that Nepenthe Siege, which ultimately got me. I'm gonna go Mars. Lots of creatures. Well, I'm pretty sure I want to hit Mars creatures, but I think those are all in their archives. I bounced 2 Brobnar, so I know I'm going to hit 2 Brobnar, so I'm going to deep probe 4 Brobnar. And I hit those 2. I'm going to Ammonia Clouds, because all of my creatures will survive that. Let's go Grabber Jammer. Mind Warper. And then I'm going to have Ixley Marauder Reap. I'm going to get that Mother off the board. And then I'm going to Shatter Storm to make them lose 6 and I lose 2. And this combo right here is what I would need for the Speed Sigil, is my Bullet Eye. I've got 2 Bullet Eyes in this, I believe. Might be thinking a different deck. No, I've got 2 Bullet Eyes. So if I have Speed Sigil, I can drop a Bullet Eye and immediately kill a flank creature. Yeah, I love the Mars turns in this deck. It takes some finagling. This is not an easy deck to pilot because you have to well time those Ammonia Clouds. You do have these Hallowed Blasters to help you, but the play lines aren't always the most obvious. Sometimes you just want to play 1 or 2 cards. But having a blowout scaling Amber Control in all 3 houses is really nice. Gives you a little better chance of drawing them, but also it's not all stuck in 1 house, so someone locks you out of a house, you still have some potential Amber Control options. Oh, I reveal the rest of their hand, right? That is That's right. So they have 3 Mars. So I was tempted to call Mars. Yeah, I forgot they reveal their hand. So they also had a Megamouth, Mind Warper, Bolter, Sample Collection, and a Doc Bookton. So, yeah, gotta keep the prompt open. Man. I really wanted to call Mars, but them having 4 cards in the archives threw me for a loop. I probably should have called Mars anyway, but whatever. I'm gonna go Sanctum. Go. Raiding Knight to the right. Yeah, they're waiting for their battle fleets, definitely. I'm gonna go Sergeant Zakiel to the right to fight Kilbookton. Reap with Remiel to use. Use Grabber Jammer just to reap. Protect the weak. Let's put that on Zakiel. And let's do some healing. Yeah, I was laughing, Mark, because I put Mark through the ringer against this deck. Leading up to the Vault Tour, I tested Rascal Vega like my life depended on it, and Mark was the unfortunate victim of a lot of these games. Not to say this deck can't be beat. Obviously it was, but it's a very adaptable deck. Honestly, what might be in their archives might be their battle fleets, because they're calling Mars now and they pulled their archives, so they probably have their battle fleets in their archive. There's one. Yeah, the rare deck while Hollowed Blaster actually works. Yep, there's Battle Fleet 2. Yeah, I think you played, I want to say I played at least 50 games with this against you, Mark, and then I think I got at least 120 reps with it before the Vault Tour. I'm the reason you had a loss record. Squawker for Blip Blip, Reap. Next one comes in ready. It's probably a John Smith. Because then they John Smith and then they just start tag teaming. They start piggybacking the Blip Blip. So they played Reaped. So we've got 3 more uses of Blip Blip, which is going to get gross. But it's fine, because if they go way above 6, I've got a too much to protect in hand. So I at least get 1 off of it and keeps them off a key. Mind Warper. They're at 9, so thank you for the TMTP. Let's go too much to protect. Then a Nerve Blast, we're taking out that John Smith. Speed Sigil into a Bullet Eye. Bullet Eye is going to reap and take out Blip Blip. I'm going to Ghostly Hand. And they just forfeit. GG. This Speed Sigil Bullet Eye is so gross. I love it. It's a really good turn. I want to save it when my opponent has a really good flank creature. Because if I dump that Speed Sigil too early, then my opponent gets a lot more use out of it. But let's give Rascal, let's give him another game. I've played this one a lot, so I don't need a ton of, I don't want to play that same deck. I've played a lot of reps with this deck, so I don't need to play it too much. Speed Sigil really is a trap card in this deck. Honestly, in a lot of decks. In this deck, I want to save it for endgame. I want to save it completely for those bullet eyes. Because hopefully by then, with my ammonia clouds and a couple other... I can fight Red Planet Raygun at some point. I guess he's playing a different deck. Okay. Yeah, so that Bullet Eye Speed Sigil play is an endgame play for me. It's a, I need to keep your board small. I need to try and limit you right now. I don't like any of this, so I'm going to throw it away again. And I'm going to go Sanctum. Just get that Bulwark out. My favorite story was in the Vault Tour match. I think it was my second one with this deck. My opponent ended up they forgot Speed Sigil was out. So they played I forget what card it was. It was an absolutely awful card. I think it was just a Dust Pixie, which is not an awful card. It's an awful card to play first with Speed Sigil. And then they followed it with oh my god, I forget what card it was. The Witch of the Eye or whatever, the one that returns a card from your discard. And they were begging me to let them redo the play. I'm like, sorry, you can't. And yeah, that's an Untamed Lethological. There is Logos in the deck, though, so it's not as bad as it could be. Ooh. I think we just Ammonia Clouds here, because I've got another one. Yeah, if that was an Untamed Lethologica with no Logos in the house, like, or in the deck, you would just play it for one bonus Ember, take your whole deck, and go like, okay, it's now all my discard. There's no point in discarding them single-handedly. It would be funny. It's just like, you know what, I'm done with this deck. Flip it over. I'm going Shadows. Am I? I'm going Shadows. Oh, man. I'm gonna go Speed Sigil into an Umbra. So I can fight with Umbra and steal one. Grab Nexus. And I'll go ahead and play Bullet Eye as well. I'm gonna save. Actually, Poison Wave. I'm gonna ditch it because it's gonna kill too many important targets of mine. There's the Gateway. I don't think it is either. A lot of Mass Mutation cards have play effects. Or destroyed effects. I didn't play Poison Wave first there because I didn't want to push into their Q-Mex cycling. But then they gatewayed anyway, so eh. Hindsight is 2020. Creatures, they just played a disc turn. 1, 2, 3. Got a pretty decent amount of untamed creatures. Nice collection of Logos creatures. I'm gonna go Mars and Deep Probe for Logos. Hit their Novu and that's it. They've got a Resurgence, Trimble, Dark Fairy. Okay. Got a nice Sanctum turn lined up. Probably won't need this doorstep yet, but we'll see what they play. Ideally, I think the pacing that I was comfortable with during all of my testing a couple years ago was I want to use one Amber control card per keys of mine. So I don't want to use 2 or 3 for every key I get, because this deck is not super efficient. It has a lot of really good answers, but it doesn't have a lot of good ways to cycle through the deck quickly. So I'm gonna play... Commander Remiel's not gonna matter, so I'm gonna play Raiding Knight first. Then Remiel. Reap. Protect the weak. Protect the weak. Check at 6. Too bad they didn't pick Untamed. They went Logos for some reason. Because yeah, they would have gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, and they were on 2. Yeah, so they would have had a key. But sucks to your Asmar, Willie. So I can let's stay with Sanctum. Doorstep. Let's kill that Key Frog. Protectrix. And I will... I'm gonna kill Gloriana. I'm gonna Reap with Protectrix. And... check at 6. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't go for Untamed there. Sometimes it's the trap of I have a full hand of one house, I want to play it, when they also had, I think, 5 Untamed on the board. So they're in Logos again. Because they can use all their mutants, right? Yeah. So they can use 1, 2, 3. They can use 3 off turn. They discard their Inspector? Interesting. Yeah. I just wasn't sure why they discarded, but I don't know what they have in their hand. Well, you know what? I'm gonna have to do a Shatterstorm here. So we're going Mars. Shatterstorm first. Bye-bye. Ammonia Clouds. Just put it on there. And Squawker to... Oh, they copied Raiding Knight, right? So I'm gonna stun Even Ivan. I'm just gonna get rid of Pheromones because I'm not keeping them board. Glorious Fuse, nice though. Wish I had that last turn. Yeah, man, this is like a fucking tennis match. It's, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? This reminds me a lot of the match that I lost in Vault Tour. I just ran out of options and my opponent just kept dumping creatures on the board. I think we're going Shadows. It's Nerve Blast. To hit Ghost Hawk. And a Bullet Eye to Reap and get rid of Cyberclone. Ketzer, what's up? Happy New Year to you as well. And they drop Obsidian Forge. I'm hoping they play a little more than 2 creatures. They just archive all their logos. All their disc creatures. Okay. This is a rough one because I want to go Mars, or sorry, I want to go Shadows. I want to let my opponent build a board. And Shadows will get me to check. So I'm gonna go Shadows. I'm gonna play a Ghostly Hand. Bullet Eye is going to Reap and take out Even Ivan. Is that a Wild Kelly? It's been a long time, Kelly. How you doing? Oh yeah, they did take their Infernus back, didn't they? See, I'm so used to playing, like having Infernus. I'm used to being the one that plays Infernus, that I don't often think about playing around it. Because now they're gonna purge my Ghostly Hand. I was gonna say, I think Kelly, if I remember, you are now married. Huh? Yep, Doorstep and Ghostly. Oh, double Infernus. Okay. Well, then there goes probably my Shatterstorm. And a Squawker. Shatterstorm and Deep Probe. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, then I apologize for bringing it up. Well, I'm gonna clear chat. No, just kidding. Let's go Glorious View, Double Blaster, and Ezekiel to Reap. And Ketzer, I think... Whether or not you were addressing me or Kelly, I'm going to answer anyway, because it's my fucking stream, right? Things are going well. The end of 2020 was a little rough, but hopefully 2021 brings some better stuff. Oh boy. So, Jesus, this is getting out of hand quick. I'm going shadows. Start with Dodger. Dodger's going to fight, get rid of that Torado. Nerve Blast to hit that Picaroon. Lights out on Dark Minion and even Ivan. And check at 6. That's good at least. I know my experience with divorce was not respectful, and it was a complete clusterfuck of almost a full year of my life. Sealed tournaments. See, I've been losing track of the online tournaments that are being hosted by a lot of the content creators, because I miss playing in them. Even if I don't do well, they're just fun to play that many high-tier games. I think the last one I played in was in September or October, so it's been several months. Pismire. Everyone should ask Orion how much he likes Pismire. Well, I'm gonna have to go Shadows again. So it's Nerve Blast, hit. Ooh, actually, I didn't want to do. Did I want to do Nerve Blast? I did want to do Nerve Blast. Kill Keyfrog, right? Alright, then we Bullet Eye to reap and kill Sacro Beast. Check at 8. Yeah, fuck Sealed. I play Sealed at new releases. I don't play it after that. But see, if I run a stream and organize it, then I have to organize it. If it's just the 3 of us, sure, fine. I don't care about that shit. Oh my god, this deck has so much recursion for Infernus, my deck is just disappearing. Do you know what art it is, Ketzer? Is it the Axiom? What are the art cards? Hawk or the Untamed one? I always forget the Untamed one. Blue key. I'm gonna go Mars. Drop my Grabber Jammer. Red Planet Ray Gun on Grabber Jammer, and Marauder. Reap with Grabber Jammer. And then Red Planet Ray Gun, I'll do 2. So I'll just start chipping away at this Pismire. No, there goes my whole board. You're playing right into my too much to protect. Annoying thing is, though, they have a Infernus in their archive, so they're just waiting for me to play that TMTP just so they can purge it. Honestly, an Ammonia Clouds for my only play right now would be really nice. Oh boy. Ammonia Clouds or Bullet Eye? I think I'm gonna go Ammonia Clouds. Let's do that. Trying to remember, because I bought, none of our local stores did any of the leaderboard stuff. Yeah, Bullet Eye would have been annihilated. Yeah, none of our local stores did anything about the leaderboards, so I did buy a pack of the 3. Someone sent me the 3 decks for a really nice sale. So I have a copy of each of the first wave of all the alt arts, but I don't remember what was all in the second wave. Well, this is where things start to get out of control, and I start to lose my momentum. But I'm gonna go Shadows. Let's go TMTP. Bullet Eye. Umbra. Let's Lights Out. Let's bounce. Torado, and I don't want to bounce Pismire. Let's bounce Even Ivan. Reap to kill Infomorph. And I'm at check at 8. This is way too close of a game right now. Kelly, Keyforge isn't about being nice. Keyforge is about collecting, right? Don't be nice to your fellow players. Collect. Steal. Ugh, effervescent. Absolutely. The only people in this world I can trust are other Martians. Well, this isn't going well. I think all of my huge... I got Doorstep's gone, Shatterstorm's gone. TMTP is still in my discard. I think they're going to end up getting to it before I can reshuffle. I'm going to go Sanctum. Let's go Glorious Few. And a Remiel. So we're going to Reap. Umbra's going to fight. Not that anything happened because they dropped the Discombobulator. Do Protectrix and then Protect the Weak on Protectrix. And there they go. I started reading the anthology. I haven't gotten past the first story. I read the first story and I have been reading a lot of other books, so I'm diving back into the Expanse series. Anyway, so that was enough of a warm-up for Rascal Vega, get my head in Keyforge mode. So I am playing El Sorrow, the Treehouse Raconteur. This is one of my Coda Rush decks, or Rush style decks. I'm gonna mulligan, that was a bad start hand. This is also a bad start hand, so let's just go Sanctum. Take Hostages is pretty useless in this deck. Man, my hands are... ugh. Ooh. What to do here? Dis or Mars? I kind of want to go the Dis route because I want to... I'm going to collar Edai. I'm going to Gongoozle the Titan. Yeah, get the fuck out of here, Orion. I mean, I've got a Virtuous Works, which hates to see any type of Infernus, and luckily there is none. But my opponent has 3 Edai. Past that, not a lot of Amber control. So I'm just going to have to try and keep Edai dead. Mars, bombardment, do 6 damage. Boom, boom, boom. Stun and stun. I'm gonna discard this. It's way too early in the game for a sample collection. I wanted to... the reason I collared Edai is because I didn't want to kill Edai with Gongoozle, because they do have 3 Exhumes. So I don't want to fuel their already crazy Edai engine. So I'm going to force them to have to try and kill their own Edai. Good old Neutron Shark. So they are going to kill their Edai here. Yep. Luckily they discarded a logo so they can stop, otherwise they're going to have to kill more of their board. I do not like that Seismo Entangler. So let's go ahead and dis. Fuck this Arise. This Arise in this deck is pretty useless. Let's get rid of Seismo. They can't reap with... fuck if I know. Saurian. And then we'll Gateway. Adaptive best of 1 or adaptive best of 3? Go Sanctum, Virtuous Works, and a Sequis. Yeah, see, I won't even touch an adaptive unless it's best of 3. Best of 1 is, it just... Here's my opinion that's going to get me in trouble. Best of 1 adaptive tournaments are 100% bait for trolls. A lot of people will play a best of 1 adaptive tournament and just go, oh, your deck looks better, I bid 6 chains on it. And they have zero interest in playing that deck. They just want to be an asshole and make you play a bunch of chains. And then if you bid 7, they're like, okay, take it. So my experience with best of 1 adaptives is not very good. It leaves a really sour taste in my mouth for the format because of really troll players. And yeah, this deck is doing absolutely nothing because these I had 4 2s, 2 2 2s, 3 2 1s, and they're all fucking trash hands. I'm about ready to just concede because I can't do fuck all with this. There's nothing I can do right now. Play 2 Sanctum cards, draw 2 Sanctum cards. But then, what's the point of me spending $10 and bringing a garbage deck and people just letting me play with it? Because no one's going to bid on it, and if you pick your own deck, then there's no bidding. Yeah, but then that forces me to be the troll. So it brings a full circle to the issue then being me. Because I bring a deck with zero interest in playing mine, so then I'm solely bidding chains on their deck to play it because they're going to pick their deck as well. And they're going to know how many chains it can handle far better than I can. I don't know, I don't like adaptive as a format. People will have their own arguments and say it's for people who are better at the game because they can adapt and play a different deck. And if I wanted to play other people's decks, I would just play Reversal. Oh man, I'm getting my ass handed to me. I'm just gonna concede. Nothing I can do in that game. So that's the problem I have with that deck. Let me pull it up. So I have 3 Squawkers. The problem is I need to see all of my Mars stacked in a hand, but I can't have all of these actions. If I have all these actions, I need a battle fleet with them. Otherwise, I need 1 of 4 creatures. So this is a rough house to make it work. When it lines up, it's amazing. And then Sanctum just is my board control and my Amber Rush. But I am going to play Crow of Barracks Camp Monument. This is my double E-Die deck. Lots of action cheating, lots of house cheating. Excuse me. You would hope, Mark, honestly. The problem is, so any type of card game, especially when you're stagnant between sets, people are going to start trolling, and they're just going to do shit because they think it's funny or they think it's fun. At this point, when we're sitting on a month and a half until Dark Tidings release, you're not going to have a lot of people who are playing super seriously. They're playing to have fun. They're playing to get the reps in, meet new people, potentially win a tournament. I think a lot of people, not a lot, the people that play and take the game seriously and want it to be inviting to new players or newer players aren't going to be the people that troll. They're not going to be the people that play trope and meme decks. In a $10 tournament, a lot of people can justify, I'm going to spend $10. I don't care if I win or lose. I'm just going to have fun. I'm going to fuck around and just see what I can do. When you bump that to like not chainbound, a regional, whatever they're calling it, primes or higher, those entry fees, that's when a lot of people actually want to win because of the prize support. So depending on the amount of cash prize in this tournament, it's likely you'll see less trolls, but there's still going to be people in there playing meme decks and just fucking around. And with my luck, I'd face probably one of them in round 1 and lose. And then my whole rating for the entire tournament is screwed. And yes, this Star Alliance Logos Untamed is really fun. It has some weaknesses, but you'll see it as I play it. I got a lot of really cool ways to cheat a lot of these Untamed actions out. I can play most of my Untamed off house. It's okay, Kelly. Orion doesn't embrace any of the gray. He either plays decks with no creatures or doesn't want any creatures, and then or the other end of the spectrum, he wants all Saurian, all Brobnar all the time. Yeah, let me pull up the list here. While we're waiting for an opponent to join here. It's 8.5 Amber Control. Artifact Control, I have 2 Rust Nars. Creature Control, I've got 2 Red Alerts. Quixelstone, which is a card that I am terrible at playing. I know it can be a really strong card. And I think in that with the Quixelstone, I play it when I'm really far behind on board state. It's a, oh shit, I need to catch up, and then I'll play it. So I usually dump it into my archives and just hold it. It's a good card to sit in there for my E-Dies. Transport platform, but no creature. Only an E-Die and a Rustnar, so I'm going to mulligan. And I'm going to go ahead and grab Logos and drop a Hapsis. Good old Book of Malefaction. Good thing I don't have, I think I only have 1 steel card. Yeah, it's information exchange. Just got a smite in there. Oh, this is a rough start. So let's go Star Alliance. Let's play Kirby. Quadricorder. And then, why not? Perilous Wild. Yeah, you like big bodies or no bodies at all. feel free to take that out of context. Good old Infernus. Gonna hit my Perilous and Red Alert, yep. Oh, I hate Infernus. Yep. There goes Infernus again. No, they played Snarette. Okay. Well, let's go Logos for an E-Die. Pop walls in there and then Quant. I totally cut myself off because the game started, but it's alright. So more stats about Crow of Barracks Camp Monument. It has 14 speed, 77 board effective power, so not super strong but not super weak. Excuse me. 17 creatures, 18 expected amber, 13 printed bonus amber. Logos, Reap, Groupthink, Quant. I'm going to discard Information Exchange because I don't want to fuel that Malefaction. Right, PJ? So the first time I read Infernus, before I had ever played any games with him in deck lists, I thought that was originally how it was written, that the Infernus must purge cards, and I thought it was from their own discard pile, which I feel would make it a much more fair card versus the ability to choose either deck. Star Alliance. Yeah, I'll take my archives. Let's go Karkar. Then Walls. I'm just going to grab that Quadricorder. I'm not going to play it because they're all about dead. So I'm going to play and hit those two. I don't want to hit minion. Do they have a Misery Exploit? I guess minion's not terrible. Yeah. You know, we all watch me play online, and I just make all these stupid mistakes because I'm busy talking to people. I'm going to go Logos. Reap with E-Die. Daughter's going to come on the other side with a Taunt. Hapsis. Go over there. Sure, let's go ahead and play Entropic Swirl. And this time I'm going to hit my Groupthink armor. And then Groupthink will just reap. I'm not getting any of my efficiency going. There goes my Infernus. So we're going to hit probably Fittest and Zap. Called it. Let's see. 3 Mind Fires is fucking gross. So I'm going to play Untamed. I'm going to regrowth my E-Die. Mimicry, a Mind Fire. Nice, and I hit a Key Lock. And then I'm going to play Deep Wood Druid. Play it right, so then I spread out my build so I don't get hit by my own groupthink now. The book! Honestly, the way this game started, I'm not super confident in being able to win because they don't have a lot of great targets for me to grab. Let's see. I'm getting ready to cycle back through. Go ahead and go Starlands. Drop my transporter. Drop a Light of the Archons. Have you reap. Let's put a quadricorder on. Oof. Do I want to make them kill their Infernus? No. Put it on my groupthink. So check at 8. That sounds really gross, PJ. I have seen a couple decks that are able to purge and then recycle their own purges. And they, am I correct in assuming that deck generally likes longer games? I know that purge decks prefer a game that goes on a while because then you can just slowly pick apart your opponent's list. Yeah. With double E-die, okay. Woof. More Stirring Graves. Let's go blue key. I'm going to go Untamed. I'm not getting a lot of the efficiency that I wanted in this game, but I'm going to reap and heal my groupthink. I'm going to play a Rustnar. And I'm going to play Mustic Murmook. Let's go ahead and hit that Drekker. Then let's go the Fittest and a Cauldron Boil. So there's a reason it's a 78 SAS. Yeah, what this deck wants to do is I want to increase key costs. And then I want to ideally remove all of my key costs at once, or at least a few of them, and hit my opponent with this graft. So honestly, what I will be doing here is probably sacrificing my groupthink and then dropping a graft. Let's go Logos. Reap. Hapsis. It's gonna hit Qmex. Groupthink is gonna hit Cinder. Still not die, unfortunately. So then I'm actually going to drop this E-die. Oof. I did not think that math through. I forgot. I always forget the robot has 3 fucking armor. So Yeah, let's go and play an Edai. Archive that Quixel. There we go. So now it'll be time for some Rustnar, if they survive. Good old triple zealots. They are not going to survive, my Rustnars. Woof. I think what I notice a lot is in our playstyles, Orion, is you're usually a turn ahead of me on being aggressive, where I tend to be more passive and attempt control. The trick with Rustnar is, yeah, literally. The trick with Rustnar is they're an aggressive control, so they short circuit my brain all the time. Yeah, and then the Zealots get a second wave of attacks here, so this might be a red alert turn. Maybe. Okay, so they got rid of my robot. So this is probably a red alert Quixel turn. Because then I can, with walls, I can pull this or the quadricorder back, dump it on their Gravitron, have a permanent +2. Right now it's +3. My opponent, they weren't doing anything for a while, and then realized they were doing text. Yeah, they were trying to use their Zealots again, but it wasn't letting them because they've rule of 6'd them. So here's my two choices. I've got a Rustnar that can get rid of the Eye of Judgment, but I don't have a target to fight safely. So Rustnar, well, I guess it could kill one of the Zealots. Now I'm gonna go Star Alliance, because if I Star Alliance, I'm gonna have 4 to their 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So each one's gonna take 4. Yeah, let's do that. Take my archives, put a Light of the Archons there. You're going to reap. You're gonna grab my quadricorder. I'm gonna play. Actually, I'm gonna wait on that. Stealth mode, no actions. Let's transport or platform walls. And back out. Grab my groupthink back. And then let's stack up my Rustnar. Quadricorder, the Gravitron. I guess, yeah, now I'm gonna hit everything for 3, aren't I? Oh well. See, it's... You've played with me in person, Orion. I don't make those mistakes in person. I just get behind the screen and start talking, and I just totally derail myself. Yeah. I know. That was my play mistake. I even said that's how I was gonna play it, and then I started playing cards and did it wrong. Yeah, because now everything took 1 less damage. Their key cost is 13, my key cost is 10. They just blatantly took out my Rustnar. Well, the problem, like, I do a low-key stream. I don't do anything competitive. I'm not playing like high tier Call of Duty or whatever the fuck these kids play now, Fortnite, whatever. But it is hard when I have mild ADD, so my brain can't focus on a single thing. I can't parse out chat. I can't focus solely on a game. I very much have a ooh squirrel kind of brain. So yes, staring at a screen, I'm like, what? Well, Untamed. Let's drop a Rust Gnar to the right. A Feathered Shaman to the right. Deepwood Druid is going to heal. Murmook's going to heal. I'm going to play the Fittest. That was how I originally was, making videos, PJ. When it comes to video editing, when I put a lot of time into it, I am way too much of a perfectionist about my video edits and my audio edits. So I was burning so much time just doing post editing that for a 3-hour video, I was spending probably 10 to 12 hours editing it. And it was just taking way too much time away from my wife, from my social life, from all the other projects I work on. Like Mark can attest to how many different hobbies I have going. So yeah, so I just do everything live. I would rather post my mistakes than have people watch me being perfect, because then people can learn from my mistakes. And hello, Mortivis. Logos. Let's have Hapsis kill this Techno Knight. Play another Hapsis. Play a Quant. Oh wait, I've got Quixelstone. I'm just gonna go ahead and play Interdimensional Graft. Get rid of Bibliophile, get rid of Quant, get rid of Groupthink. Games today are not bad. I have been making a lot of play mistakes. We're talking about why or how I distract myself by talking too much. But games as a whole have been pretty good. Yeah, that's why I love Rascal Vega. It only matches well against Coda or AoA. It's okay against Mass Mutations. It gets its shit pushed in by Worlds Collide. So it's a very rough deck to play currently. We'll see how Dark Tidings shakes things up. Say if I reap with Untamed, I am good to go. If I play information exchange, did they steal one from me? Captured one. If I play information exchange, it'll fuel the Book of Malefaction, which I don't really want to do. And if I play Transporter Platform, it's actually going to prevent me from playing the creature back out. So I'm going to go Untamed. Let's Reap. Reap and Reap. Just sit at 6. That just makes you a really good husband, PJ. Put your wife's priorities above yours. Yeah, a lot of my projects, so I mean, running the stream, I do video games on Fridays, Keyforge on Saturdays, I 3D print, so 3D printing, and then painting those models. I also run 2 tabletop RPGs. I run one in D&D and then another one in the Expanse RPG rule set, on top of spending time and doing a bunch of stuff with my wife. So I'm busy, and I think any type of extra hobby that takes a ton of time, where I'm just kind of sitting, not really doing a lot, I generally dismiss them. I need projects where I have an immediate source of what I've spent my time doing, like printing models. So, I mean, I press print, I sit and wait, but I can see that I've actually produced something. Let's go logos. I'm just gonna see what I can do here. Excuse me. I'm gonna fight into Cinder. Nice. Hapsis. I'm gonna fight Drekker. That seems like the right thing to do. And they actually have Discombobulator, so I'm just gonna pitch my information exchange and then get rid of Quant and Daughter. This is looking like it's going to be a loss, unfortunately. My opponent's deck didn't allow me to do, honestly, anything this deck wanted to do. I had 0 efficiency, I had 0 cross houses, I wasn't able to stack my E-dies. Yes, I do. I mean, as you can see, all this shit behind me, all the board games. This is my wrong shoulder. This is my wife's dice making table. All this stuff behind me. That and mirrored cameras are confusing. This and that. Yeah, like all these projects, those are all mine. I'm always doing something until I pass out every night. So that being said, I can't play E-Die, so I'm gonna go Untamed. That's Reap, Regrowth, just for shits and giggles, I guess. And then I'm gonna have to pitch it anyway. What did they have in here? Nothing in their discard pile, so Mimicry is useless. And the Fittest. Yeah, he just cycled too, so that was a very close game. I mean, honestly, I'm in check right now, and they didn't have a lot of ways to then to cycle back through. So we were an action away from a different ending there. But yes, I should plug my wife's dice company. So if you are an RPG player, shameless plug, not a paid promotion. Magical Math Rocks. Find her on Etsy, on Facebook, Bits and Pieces on Instagram. She and I are both terrible at Instagram. We're both trying to get better. But they are custom-made, handmade resin dice. And commissions are open, as well as direct sales from Etsy. So check that shit out. I'm gonna do another competitive here. Yeah, he cycled his discard at a really bad time. A couple suboptimal plays from me because I distracted myself. It wasn't a terrible game. There were a couple lines of play I could have done better that might have led to a different outcome, but it's all speculation. I think my opponent played a very good game, and the purges just slowly tore me apart. And they did exactly what purge is supposed to do. It's supposed to slowly break your deck down. Let's just discard and see what I do. I think Mortivis, you're on the same line as me. Just fuck it. I played some games. Here's the video. Well, Jesus, there goes my E-die. Nothing like drawing hot garbage to start a game, as always, in true Crystal Hive fashion. What the fuck is this hand? Fittest, Perilous Wild. Red alert, transporter platform. Yay. Yeah, you know what, Orion, I'm just gonna ban you. Ban Orion. I'm just kidding. Untamed. Sure. And the fittest. Happy fun times. Of course. They don't discard a red alert, they hit my fucking transporter. Okay. That's fine. Everything's gonna take 5 damage, so Star Alliance, red alert. I don't care. Whatever. Do not care what order they go in. The anniversary? You mean the anniversary of you making my hands absolute shit? Yeah, you don't, on this type of day of all days, you don't want to piss off the spouse. Jesus Christ. Their deck is unbelievable out of hand damage. This is ridiculous. I can't keep a fucking board and I'm putting like one creature out a turn. Star Alliance. Red alert. Fuck it. Quixelstone. Discard. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yep, I'm just gonna concede. There's no fucking chance. No chance whatsoever. I need to walk away from that game because that was a dumpster fire. So give me a minute. I'm gonna get something else to drink. I'm not actually mad about that game. It was just absolutely awful. So maybe I need to recycle some decks here. I'm gonna play this one. This one's fun. I don't know if I'd quite name it as a competitive deck. Gordon Prof Croc Fotio. Let's see. So my board presence is 108. My effective power, sorry. I've got 9 printed bonus amber, 16 expected amber, but crazy efficiency if I can keep this candle unit on the table. Sorry, apparently opening a pop can peeks out my microphone. I'm gonna have to look at some other decks that I want to possibly play today, since things are not going super well. My house dis is pretty crappy, so I want to get that out of the way as quickly as possible. Dis, both Lilithals. Misery Exploit is a cool card in concept. I've never been able to have a deck that plays it well. Nice, good old candle unit. House Dis, okay. Oh, hell yeah. Let's play Creeping Oblivion. My opponent's discard, hit both those cards. Then I'm going to reap and reap. So I do have to say it while on stream. New stream viewer high. I'm at 12. What the fuck? For everyone that is watching, huge thank you. May not seem like a huge number for you, but for a hobbyist streamer who streams one day of Keyforge content means a lot to me. So everyone that's tuning in, thank you. Thank you a lot. Library of the Damned. Drop my third Lilithal. I'm just going to reap across the board. Capture 2. Trying to push them over 6 so I can drop this Graft. They're at 7. 3 Fates will kill me, so I'm just gonna go Logos. Let's go ahead and play this now, just so it doesn't hit anything. I'll go Candle Unit, and reassembling Automaton, and let's go Graft just to grab 1. drop some Saurian, get the Golden Spiral out, Raider Gallum, and then Perfectus Ludo. Sorry about the screen flickers. I keep going into DOK to find some other decks that would be fun to play on stream. Some lesser played decks of mine. And I remember I played this a few times on stream a long time ago. It's the Woman That Yodels for Dance. It's a fun Mars deck that I want to revisit and see what I can do with it. All kinds of amber control here. And none of it through Reaping, because they have not triggered my candle unit once. So let's go Saurian. I'm going to Reap, Exalt, Reap. Let's play Odoak, play Draco Praco. Let's go ahead and take Chant of Hubris off of Raider Gallum, pop it on Sequus. And then let's Golden Spiral on, Reassembling Automaton to fight and kill, or do 3 there to Shadow Self. Two Ghostly Hands sucks. 2 Routine Jobs. Yeah, so their entire Shadows list is a very typical Call the Archons list. Can't use Raider Gallum. Can use Lilithal. I can capture 1 on Candle Unit. I'm gonna go Saurian. I can't leave these stunned. Let's Phalanx Strike. Let's hit Shadow Self. Put it on the Automaton. Let's hit Sequus. Let's use Golden Spiral to ready you. And Reap. Increase your key cost, and then I'm going to drop a Spartosaur. So check it 8. Blue key, they're forcing me in the Logos, which conveniently is what is completely in my hand. I don't really like Draco Praco, so I'm okay with it getting hit. It is going to clear my board though, so I did this all out of order. Happy fun times. Oh my god. When it does the prompts this way, I just short circuit and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Okay, whatever. Let's drop you there, you there, you there. That's there. Should have done the robot last, but you know. That's on me for I misremember Spartosaur all the time. I always think it's when an opponent kills one of your creatures. No, it's just when one of your friendly creatures is destroyed. Kill everything that's not a dinosaur. discard pile. Three Fates right now is awful. So let's go ahead and forge a yellow. Let's go Logos. And that's Reap. I'm going to discard 3 Fates. Reap. Reap and Quant will Reap. I'm going to play Twin Bolt Emission, hit Titan Guardian, hit Spartosaur. Exhume would be a really good one right now, but I don't know what I would exhume. They're not keeping a board, so Candle Unit actually is just a trap right now. I'll exhume a Tribute. Or not exhume. I'll with Quant play Tribute. And checkmate at 6. They do have a lot of steel, so I'm not thinking I'm going to get a win on this turn, but I'm pushing tempo. My opponent's praising my deck, saying it's a great win-loss record. Or must have a great win-loss record. If this is your first time catching the Crystal Hive live, or let's say you've done it several times and this is just another time you're joining us, go ahead and click wherever in Twitch that follow button is. I think it's right mirrored image. There we go, right down here. Click that follow button. That'll allow you to chat with me after 10 minutes. So I keep my chat to followers only, or above. Once subscribe becomes available, you can also interact when you're subscribing. But hitting that follow button lets me know that I'm doing something you enjoy watching, and helps Twitch, what's the word, advertise me, I guess, as someone to watch if you like Keyforge content. So the more people click that follow button, the more Twitch thinks that people want to watch me, which helps me get more viewers. So it's kind of a cyclical thank you. So if you don't have any New Year's resolutions, make your New Year's resolution to click that follow button for the Crystal Hive. Because I'm shameless. But that was a good game, so I'm gonna play this deck again and see what I can do. I'm going to add that Woman That Yodels for Dance deck. It's a Coda deck. Come play with us. that again. I hit refresh and my game just crapped out, so maybe I got removed from the active game list. Sometimes it does that. Crag Palm is not. There we go. Just saw that someone else was playing, so I just hopped in their game. 222 Mulligan. Stampede. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go Saurian. Drop the Golden Spiral. Perfect this Ludo, and then I'm gonna put Tricerian out. Protect Ludo. Okay. Why did they... I would have also played that Imp Spectre before the Gateway. But let's go Logos. Candle Unit. Bibliophile, see if I can get any use out of him. And Automaton. They do have a diametric charge, which will probably, yeah, that'll kill the Bibliophile. God, I can never, oh, there's Positron Bolt. I can never keep a fucking Bibliophile on the board. I think that is the worst designed power in the game. Just, it should be either power 2 or it should be power 1, armor 1. Just having a 1 power creature, you're never going to get it to stay on the board, and if you do, you probably have already won. Let's do this. Rock Gub. Lilithal. Claim by Nature, hit my Golden Spiral. Lost a Key Frog. I don't really feel like I need to do any controlling right now, so I'm gonna stay with this. Depending on how the board state moves, I might go Logos, but I'm most likely probably playing Saurian here. So let's go Saurian. Not gonna take my archives. I'm gonna play Raider Gallum. Then Chant of Hubris. And then Phalanx Strike. I'm gonna Exalt the Automaton and kill that. Don't need to use Tribute. I don't want to waste it because that's one of my very few Amber control cards in this deck. Trying to think. I think this is a French deck. E. Griffith, Oh, tapping back into my French lessons. Chirurgien is surgeon? So E. Griffith, the surgeon of Little Center. I need to keep a board. So let's go logos, no archives, cutthroat, and then let's read. Wanted them to try and go, or not to try, I wanted them to go over 6, because now I can go logos, drop my daughter, and hit him with graft. So they get a key, but I get 3 off of it. They probably have an Infernus to answer it, and they'll probably hit graft, and honestly, if I were them, I would hit graft and Raider Gallum. Really the trick here is with whatever I capture. Obviously depends on my opponent's deck list, but if I capture anything, I want it to be on the automaton, and then I want to just keep dumping creatures on the board, because my automaton won't die as long as I have at least one other creature on the board. What I do need to watch out for is obviously with Untamed, they're the most notorious for it, but Shadows can do it, Disc can do it with Hysteria and Fear, just any type of bounce effects that return a creature to your hand that completely negates this destroyed effect. That was a good turn for them. Let's keep going logos. The Groupthink Tank. Actually, I'm going to drop Titan Guardian first, then the Groupthink, then Twin Blast, and just hit those 2. Tooth. Okay, that's interesting. That's gonna keep hitting my reassembling automaton. No, it's gonna hit their key frog, so they're gonna get a free key here. Well, free key, a cheated key. I'll go Dis, take my archives, Rock Grab, Library, Lilithal. This Lilithal will reap. Exhume. What do I want to take? Probably my Raider Gallum. Yeah. And really nice Saurian line here. I'd also do get some use out of Misery Exploit. And they're gonna kill my Rot Gub, which I'm okay with. But Cyberclone, that's another way around the automaton. They just purged it. Unfortunately, now this is an automaton, so I have to deal with that now. Dis is a good choice. So let's just reap. Misery exploit for 2. Use Library of the Damned. I'm going to archive Tribute. And call that good. So now their target for Fangtooth is my Raider Gallum, which is okay. Generally, it's okay. Not saying it's okay as if it actually is okay. Now I'm going back through all the comments here, PJ, and I'm just now seeing your question about if I play Blood Bowl. I do not. I've not been in an area where Blood Bowl's really prominent. In my area, huge games, Magic the Gathering, you have to say it. It's big no matter where games are. Arkham Horror Living Card Game is actually really big in this area. Then Keyforge is decent. I would love for a larger field, but I don't live near Denver, so Denver's mainly the main hub of Colorado for Keyforge. What else is big here? There's a decent amount of Malifaux players, and then there was a little bit of, it's not Blood Bowl, but it's the soccer version of it. Can't remember what it's called. Let's play Odoak. Legionary on Odoak. Draco, and then let's Tribute right there. Trying to think of the main games I play. So I'm in quarantine. Obviously, they take that into account. Not playing a lot of games with other people. So a lot of the board games and card games and dice games I play recently are with my wife. So a lot of 2-player stuff. Roll Player, ROLL Player, is a really cool game. It's a dice game where you basically build D&D characters. So 2 birds, 1 stone there. We just got Wingspan for Christmas through Board Game Geek's Secret Santa, and that's a really pretty game. Really easy to learn, easy to understand, but strategy-wise, a pretty complex game. What else do I have to look at my game wall here. I'm going to see what my opponents, if they're saying anything, and they're not. So you can't really see because of light. This entire corner, yes, from all the way from the right about here, all the way up is all Arcadia Quest. I'm a huge Eric Lang fan, and Arcadia Quest is really fun. They have lots of awesome miniatures. Don't get a lot of time to play it because it's a lot of setup for 2 players. It's a really fun 3 and 4 player game though. A lot of the other stuff, most of these games behind me I've played at least once. I'm gonna go Saurian. That's Reap, 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 and Exalt. I'm gonna Enrage Untamed. And then I'll use Golden Spiral. Use you Reap, and then I'm gonna Exalt and Enrage Dis. So check at 8 of 6. if they don't play any smaller creatures, their Fangtooth is probably going to hit my Draco. But they went straight for my Spartosaur, which is fine. Pismire makes my key cost 8. I really hope they don't have a Keyfrog, because that will screw me over. Got rid of their Fangtooth, and there's nothing I can do now. They ramped up really fast. Gonna go Dis, let's play Rot Gub. Creeping Oblivion, grab my opponents. Let's hit Vault's Blessing and Infernus. Inspector. Library of the Damned to Archive a Quant, and since I'm going to lose anyway, let's just go and play 3 Fates. Woof, down to 1 action again. So now I'm gonna go to that woman that yodels for dance. This is a Brobnar Logos Mars. Let's see, 2 Angers, a Cannon, and a Coward's End. So a lot of fighting in Brobnar. Not a lot of crazy creatures, but a lot of fight presence. Logos has a Graft and Knowledge's Power, Wild Wormhole. Excuse me. 2 Dr. Escatera for a marginal catch-up mechanic if my opponent gets ahead of me. 9 times out of 10 I draw these before my opponent even has keys. But then Mars, I've got Grabber Jammer, 2 John Smiths, 2 Squawkers, so some efficiency in reaping, as well as a Jammer pack. So nothing honestly too scary, but let's see. Competitives, let's just join that one. Maybe I'll start joining games this way, just snipe open lobbies instead of trying to open my own. That's a decent start. I'll keep it. Let's go Mars, Dominator, Marauder, back up on Marauder. I'm gonna Squawker just to get rid of this stun. And let's go ahead and go Mars. Take my archives. Marauder. Let's have you fight Tunk. And Squawker is just gonna ready and reap. Guilty Hearts, okay. And a Life Ward. The annoying thing here is they're probably going to drop Life Ward. So I'm going to go Logos, get Escatera out at least, and then lab work to archive. Let's archive Warsong. Told you, I always see Dr. Escatera before my opponent has any keys. Blech. Blech. Well, Graft, I guess. Let's go Logos. Have Escatera fight Succubus and then Graft. I get 2 off of that. I also have 6 Brobnar creatures, and I drew 3 of the events. So, you know, half my list, not drawing anything fun. But this would be a good time for them. The Life Ward. They have a bait and switch. Relentless Whispers. There's the bait and switch. Oh boy. Yeah, there's the Life Ward. So I've got nothing to do here other than discard. So I'm just gonna discard that, play a cannon. I'm gonna get rid of War Drummer actually. No, it's usually when chat goes completely silent like that, it's often something to do with Twitch. I know Twitch for some reason has been having a lot of issues with their chat server. So I figured either you fell asleep, because I don't know, you might have narcolepsy, or something was going on with chat, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, I figured, like, honestly, Mortivis, when you get quiet, something's happening on Twitch. That's why I keep talking to myself. I'm gonna go blah, 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 Logos. Let's drop Mother. Phase Shift for a Orbital Bombardment. Let's do Silvertooth and Dodger. Yeah, I sniped another lobby because there's no point in me making another lobby when someone's already waiting for a competitor. So, Blood Bowl, yeah, Guild Ball. That's what I was thinking of. There was an okay following for Guild Ball for a little bit. I've not personally played Blood Bowl at all. Let's go Brobnar. Yes to my archives. Let's play War Song. Let's drop Crump. Let's drop Ganger Chieftain. Have Crump kill Dodger. Then Crump's not going to survive, is he? He is not. So let's cannon, hit that Tunk. Let's have Anger ready. Ganger Chieftain. Call that good. I'm 2 keys behind now. Hey, I got a key. All right. Let's go Logos. Let's drop Smoko. Wild Wormhole. Into a what? Coward's End. That's fine. That's why I didn't play Mother yet. And then I'll drop my Mother. Oh man, you know what AI I absolutely fucking hate for a digital version of a card game? Star Realms. The AI on Star Realms is ridiculous. They draw everything they need all the time. They play perfect lines. They don't, I mean, it's AI, so they don't ever make mistakes, but they somehow know what card is coming up next in the panel, the draft panel, and they wait for it. go Mars. Take my archives. Sniffer. Grabber Jammer. Mind Warper. John Smith. And then let's do a Jammer Pack on Mother. Yeah. That sounds like why I quit Destiny. My dice rolls just got worse and worse and worse the longer the game was out. It's okay. Fantasy Flight killed not Keyforge. They did not kill Keyforge. It's still alive and well. They killed Destiny. Made that official post, I think, last week. They call Brobnar? Damn. Logos. Dr. Escatera, I get 2 amber for you. Novu. Reap with Mother. The Knowledge is Power is going to archive. Sure. Mars, take my archives. John Smith. Ixley Marauder. Grabber General, Reap. Oh, we're definitely getting Dark Tidings. It's still, as far as I know, still released for February. I just misspoke because I was playing Keyforge instead of looking at my crappy Destiny collection behind me. Sure, Brobnar. Hebe's a huge. Headhunter. Cannon is going to hit Charette. Anger is going to hit Toxin. And that's GG. Yeah, anything can happen. I talk a lot with the dev team for Keyforge. So Keyforge is alive and well. It's just right now the lack of communication is honestly a Fantasy Flight thing. Has nothing to do with Keyforge. Fantasy Flight is running on bare bones staff right now because of COVID-19. So their attention to Facebook posts, Instagram, Twitter, all their social medias have been completely dwindled. So their lack of communication, unfortunately, is a Fantasy Flight trope. Like, once a game's going well, they just say, okay, we don't need to talk about it. And then the community starts freaking the fuck out that the game is going to die, which is not at all true with Keyforge, at least currently. Keyforge is alive and well and actually growing from what I've seen and been told. That being said, I'm going to open a new window here. Some of my decks are not doing so well, so I'm going to just spend a minute or two fishing through here. Trying to find something to play that I have not played a ton of reps with. Do. deck available, so I can't put its enhancements up because I don't know where I stored it right now. Keep looking. Do this deck. Let's do the Wanderer that finds athletics. I don't know what that gavel means. Yeah, I know Asmodee is doing a lot of. Oh, apparently my opponent is an adaptive. Well, this will be fun. So Asmodee is moving a lot of stuff around. And oh my gosh, he wants to play my deck. Can this deck handle that many chains? Fuck it. Pass. You can have it for 9, man. What am I playing? And now I'm not even playing my own deck. Sure, I'll keep it. So Asmodee moving staff around definitely is a concern for Fantasy Flight. That's the problem you get into, right, when you have a mother corporation, when you don't operate on your own. Let's do that. Let's drop a Headhunter. Let's hit Punch. And we'll keep Warsong for now. I have no idea how well my deck can handle chains, so we'll see. Let's go Brobnar, Warsong, Headhunter, kill Brachus. I know that Fantasy Flight / Asmodee have outsourced all their RPG stuff through the Genesis system. They've outsourced all their digital content. I don't know when they're going to pick that back up, but they have a studio in mind to program all their apps and digital versions again. It's going to be hard for Fantasy Flight to release a lot of their unique product right now, like Keyforge, Arkham Horror card games, and Arkham Horror board games. It's going to be difficult for them to let those go if they want. So there's a few things that can happen. Let's just play Gromid. So it'll be interesting to see just as how the company restructures. Yeah, and all their miniatures moved. So what was that? What were their miniatures? Is Mansions of Madness considered a miniatures game? I know X-Wing is, Imperial Assault, all those games. So yeah, it's interesting. Like, I don't know if these are changes that are happening because of COVID, or if these are things that have been planned that I don't know if they're things that have been planned that are just now coming to fruition because with COVID, it's a good excuse. But it's all speculation. I mean, there's a lot of stuff they can't talk about. I'm sure all Fantasy Flight staff are behind an NDA, so they can't openly discuss what's going on. And honestly, they probably don't know unless they're on the C-level executives. Fight. Let's go Philophosaurus. Key Abduction. Tunk, drop a Gromid. Good old Code Monkey shenanigans. They hit me with Axiom. Okay. I'm fine. I can play creatures now. Let's go Untamed, Full Moon, Snufflegator, Lost in the Woods. I do know that the deck my opponent took from me, Thief, doesn't have a lot of Amber control. So as long as I just keep pushing Amber control and controlling a board a little bit, I don't need to do a ton of board control. Excuse me. Blue Key, Brobnar, Pingle, Headhunter, and Valder. Uh-oh, I think Twitch chat disappeared again. I know you're all still here, I promise. Stealth mode, so I can't play any actions. I do remember that deck has a lot of taunt. Ah, there you are, PJ. Let's go Untamed. Let's drop Hunting Witch and do Fairy. And a Snufflegator. Decent Mars hand here. Meatball Killingham is a pretty funny name, especially with how this deck works. Lots of fighting. Oh no, there go all my creatures. Yeah, this deck has 3 Axioms and a Red Alert. Yep, that's what we're doing. We're going Mars. We're going John Smith, Zizix, Think Drone, Squawker John Smith, Reap, Ready Zizix, and Reap. I really wish the card was called Squeaker. just rename it. This is Squeaker now. Yeah, and now this is where my deck that my opponent's playing is going to kick my ass. But the fact that I think I gave him 8 chains, maybe 9, I think it was 8, and it's still manhandling and controlling tempo, means it's probably a pretty good deck. Which is why I wanted to play it, and I joined an adaptive queue for some reason. Brobnar, discard, play. And now that I know how that deck works, now that he's got board control, there's nothing I can do. So I'm just going to concede. Didn't feel like playing a adaptive game anyway. let's try and play my deck my way now. Actually, before I open that, I'm gonna take a quick break. Give me 1 minute. New game. Time limit competitive. No one wants to queue. If I leave, join that one. Perfect. They're playing AOA, or no, that's Worlds Collide. Double Raider and a Key Charge with Flaxia and Harmonia. Woof. Let's see if I can even play this deck properly. Excuse me. Worlds Collide Brobnar. I have one good Worlds Collide Brobnar, but more or less, yeah, they're asking for punishment here. I would not be surprised if they play most of their game in Saurian and Untamed. So let's go Logos, Wild Wormhole. Oh sure, I just gave them Elusive. That's fine. Just no big deal. Here's some Elusive. But I can kill it with a zap unless they buff it with the fittest. The wild wormhole in this deck is such a crapshoot because sometimes I pull a board clear. Like I have a 1 in 3 chance. What am I? 3 in 36, so 1 in 12 chance. There's my math of hitting a board clear. But let's go Star Alliance. This is a great time for a Red Alert just because. Arms Master Molina, Stealth Mode, Cloaking Dongle, there. Light of the Archons there. Zap. Let's hit 1, 2, 3, 4. Check at 6. PJ, honestly, that feels like everybody's experience with Brobnar Worlds Collide. I can't remember the exact card loadouts, but I've had a Brobnar list in Worlds Collide where I had 1 Overrun, and then I think it was 2 or 3 War Songs, or a mix of War Songs and Barn Raisings, and 1 Brobnar creature. The moment I saw that, I was like, nope, throw that shit away. Well, right, so, I mean, that's the concept of sealed, right? Ideally, you're playing 12 players or 6 players at 2 decks each. And you're playing within a single box. So then you're going to have the standard deviation curve. So you're going to have a deck regardless of this is my concept. You're going to have a deck regardless of pilot that is probably going to finish at least top 4, if not first place, just by pure statistics. But when you play against a pretty good mixed field of players, then even a crappy deck has the chance of doing at least okay. I'm gonna go Star Alliance to play Ishii to the right and then Frayne to the right to capture on Frayne. And I'm gonna have Molina Reap and call that good. Check at 6. Honestly, I really hope that the United States gets their shit together with coronavirus, because to have a Keyforge release not allow in-person play is going to be rough. The sales are going to be pretty low because people want to play sealed. Like it's a new set. People want to play sealed. And if they can't play in person, then they have to cumulatively together, right? Like buy a box and play sealed at home, which some people still aren't comfortable with because their friends aren't necessarily in a safe coronavirus, exposure bubble. I'm really hoping things get together. I think I'm just going to go Logos. Reap, reveal the top, so I got a Navigator Ali. Yeah, we had one store champ that was sealed, and then I'm trying to remember our other store champ was I think it was Archon. Honestly, it was just Archon best of 3. And then there was another one that was sealed, 2-deck sealed, and that one was pretty rough. Good knowledge is power to archive an axiom, so I'll probably draw another one. Check at 7. Oh, last tournament. Last thing past like weekly chain bounds was 2019 store championship, where that was the 2-deck sealed store championship. And then shortly before that, or I can't remember which one was before or after, there was a 2-deck sealed store championship, and then there was the prime that Orion actually won. I think it was a 42 player prime, so it was a pretty nice size prime. Yeah, local was open until March, and then that's when all the game stores started shutting down. And we just kind of sat here like, okay, what are we doing? So what are we doing? I think we're just going to go Star Alliance. I'm going to take my archives and have all 3 of my axioms there. Let's play Ali. Let's grab last one on top. So let's go Daughter, Broodedon, then Gargantodon. So let's Reap. I'm gonna do Frayne. We're gonna capture over here. Ishi's going to Reap. Okay, check at 10. Honestly, if stores opened, but like our game store, at least the one closest to me, serves food and they're a coffee shop. Honestly, if they just said, you know what, you get 1 hour, you can sit at a table, that's it, I'd be fine with that. I'd crank out 2 games of Keyforge, leave, have a good day. Yeah, in Colorado, they're doing some weird stuff about opening and closing and who gets to stay open, who doesn't. They're really fighting the urge to close bars and restaurants, but honestly, those are why United States, at least Colorado, are not doing well with outbreak rates, because people are just returning to normal. They're just, oh yeah, sure, I'll go have some drinks and then go out for food, and I call it the dick nose, where you wear your mask but your nose is still hanging out and looks like your dick's hanging over the top of your pants. People wear their masks like that, and it doesn't make sense. I wish humans, not any particular country, ethnicity, or demographic. I wish humans would get their shit together and just help this thing go away. I'm gonna go Saurian here. I'm gonna play an Axiom, ward that. Sure, let's hit you, then you. I'm gonna play Broododon. You can go to the right. I'm gonna discard an Axiom. And I'm gonna keep the other Axiom. Honestly, PJ, I think I am spiraling into politics here, but I think the United States is so hell-bent on capitalism. We don't have a government system built on being able to shut down. Our government and just societal system operates on people consuming and buying shit and going out and spending money. And so the country was so hesitant to shut stuff down that it was way too late by the time we did. We don't have a social enough economy, that's the word. We don't have a social enough economy to have allowed our country to just shut down for a little bit and support people. So we'll see what 2021 comes, or what 2021 brings with the new year. And given the pace of this game, this will be my last game of the stream. Just seeing how it pans out. It's looking okay. We're pretty neck and neck. I absolutely hate seeing Saurian against this list because my main board clears are Axiom, and Axiom intentionally does not hit Saurian creatures very well. So it's been a rough board clear. I mean, we have a bi-party system, but we've got idiots and idiots. So, you know, politics are not my thing. I've got a lot of strong opinions on American politics that don't match a lot of people. We're gonna go there. We're gonna golden spiral to reap. I'm going to... Should I play another Axiom? Why not? Let's ward you. Then let's Gargantodon, and then Broododon Auxiliary. Check at 6. Yeah, it's easy for us to have our opinions on how this should have been handled when we're not the ones making decisions. So it's my life motto. Just make it work. Whatever hand of cards you're being dealt, literally or figuratively, just try and make it work. I don't kid myself that I have so much ambition that I want to be the one that makes all those decisions. But I'd like to feel that if I were in that position, I would be in a place where I could potentially make better choices. I'm gonna go Logos. Let's reap. Wormhole Tech. I'm going to... Yeah, there we go. Play Daughter to the right. Jargoggle to the right. Jargoggle is going to grab Psionic Officer Lang and call it. Yeah, call that check at 7. Right? Yeah, so it's funny you should say that, because by American politics standards, I am considered an extremist communist. By, I think, the most close comparison to my actual political beliefs is in France, I'm considered a democratic representative socialist. So, you know, try and say that 20 times fast. But it's crazy, just your political views are seen so differently based on the culture you live in, and where you live, where you grew up, the cultures you constantly interact with. So I mean, if you're like myself, obviously I'm white. If you can tell by the beard, you can't really see my freckles, but I am covered in freckles, so I'm Irish. But a lot of my childhood, I lived in a very Mexican populated neighborhood. I don't say Hispanic because I know got quite a few friends who are Latinx. Avoid it. So I grew up in a very Mexican neighborhood, and so my beliefs within that neighborhood are seen differently than if I lived in the predominantly Irish neighborhood. So it's very weird how subjective it is and how much opinion people have about those. I'm gonna go Logos again. No to my archives. Let's drop an anomaly exploiter. I'm going to Reap with Daughter, Reap with Jargoggle. I'm going to play Cutthroat Research. This is the first time Cutthroat Research works. So they have 8. I'm going to steal 2. Oh wait, I can't, because Gargantodon. Interesting. Why else can't I steal? Oh, because they Odoak. So never mind. Never mind. Reap. Let's go Ishii first. I put a Senator Brackus in there. I'm going to play Graft. And then I'm going to play Code Monkey on my Gargantodon and Broodon Auxiliary. And that puts me at check at 14 of 6. Oh yeah, like, I think some reports I was reading about the most recent presidential campaign and election for the United States is, I think they were saying like 67 or 68% of Americans already made up their mind about who they were voting for before any of the debates. And honestly, like, you could watch your candidate absolutely train wreck and contradict themselves and, do all kinds of crazy stuff that you normally wouldn't stand for. But you're so sorry, I have hiccups. I'm trying not to hiccup into the microphone. You're so ingrained in your beliefs and so unwilling to adjust them that it doesn't matter what your candidate says or does, you're going to support them no matter what, because in your brain it makes more sense to keep your opinion than to question your own thought process. We're getting into some psychology shit here. So, I mean, the cognitive dissonance of making that choice versus changing your opinion. Humans are lazy. I don't want to make a choice that causes me distress. So I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to listen to anyone trying to change my mind. I've made up my mind. F you. It's kind of the human mentality for a lot of things. Cost 12 keys. Happy fun times. I think what I need to do here is go Saurian, take my archives, because this is a big list of Saurian. I'm going to Reap, capture 1. I'm going to put guess I should have played the diplomacy, but I'm just gonna get rid of it. Let's put Brutodon Auxiliary to the left. Let's place Senator Brockus to the left with a Paraguardian, and then a Gargantodon, Philophosaurus, and Tribute. Just gonna dump it over there. Gonna hit it again. Golden Spiral to ready. Reap Exalt toward its neighbors. Check at 6. Right, and that's confusing me so much, PJ, is this is my belief on humanity, right? Our responsibility as humans is to look out for our neighbors, look out for our family, look out for our friends, look out for our community. If that means I have to pay an extra 10% of my income to taxes so that everyone in the country can get health care, it's a no-brainer. Sign me up. Sure. But a lot of people just are so obsessed with the false rhetoric that paying that much tax is going to be misused. Fuck it, my taxes are already misused. I don't want any of my tax money going toward the American military regime. But guess what? I have no say on where my tax money goes. But if you allow me to distribute my tax money where I want it to go, you're going to see a lot of very differing places the money's going to go. There's going to be people that fund the military. A lot of military families want to fund the military, which is fine. I don't have anything against military. I have a problem with prioritizing military spending over public health care, schooling, and public transit. So, I mean, that's why I've dedicated my life to working in nonprofit social services. I like helping people. I've studied psychology. The human brain is fascinating, but there's a lot of people who are not old school, but just very stubborn in their ways, and they made up their opinion 20, 30 years ago, and they would rather die than have someone try and change their mind, which is sad. Life is all about learning. Sorry, I had to derail here. My opponent was wondering how my Brutodon was able to capture Amber. Well, yes and no. I mean, so the United States, we're so hell-bent on our states having our own laws. So, I mean, we've got a federal oversight, which the easiest comparison to make is our federal government is like the EU, the European Union. I believe that's what it stands for. Forgive my English ignorance. Hold on. Boom. Won that game because of a good Senator Brockus ward. I'm gonna leave game so I can talk and finish the stream here. So, European Union, right, is an oversight for countries that participate in the EU. The EU is roughly equivalent to the United States federal government, where all of the separate countries are roughly equal to all the states in the United States. So every state establishes their own sales tax, income tax, property tax. They established all their own tax rates. So if you look at the Eastern Seaboard, you're looking at like Connecticut, Delaware, Vermont. Most of those states don't have any sales tax. So if you go on vacation, I mean, I've had the luxury to be able to road trip a lot with my family when I was young. So a lot of our family trips were just driving to a bunch of different countries. So we were able to just see the country. But when we go to Connecticut or Delaware, because we have some family out there, my mom would just full scale just buy, because there's no sales tax. And so if you take that sales tax out, she can buy an extra $30, $50, $60 worth of stuff when she grabs a giant haul from like we'll just say Target. That's not really where we shopped, but well, and New York has crazy sales tax because just massive populated state. So I mean, the country of the United States has so many different states with their own laws. That's the problem, is right. So we've got the EU equivalent of our federal government trying to pass laws for every single state to abide by or slightly alter, but they can't necessarily supersede it. The laws are only valid in the confines of that state's border. And the problem is what people want in Washington state versus Colorado versus Illinois, Florida, and New York, Texas. Every single state's population wants something different. So trying to pass a federal law for everyone to abide by is near impossible. It's because we've been raised with the individualistic mindset, right? My opinion matters just as much as yours, if not a little more, because it's me and I'm emotionally based. I'm emotionally focused. So the problem is we're one of the heaviest, or not one of the heaviest, well, weight-wise, yes, one of the most populated countries in the world, with a single entity trying to pass regulations for everybody. I am hoping in my lifetime I see someone be able to propose a plan that the entire country supports, but we'll see. I mean, here's my last statement on it. The United States needs to get rid of Reaganomics. It's a capitalist benefit for the rich, essentially. Like if you strip it down to its core, Reaganomics allows the rich to get super fucking rich while the poor get poorer. Abolish that, get rid of it, go back to policies where if you earn over $250,000 a year, all of your excess income goes back to the government. Great. Cool. Right? Yeah. Foreign citizen and a citizen that's fully in touch with the American people can't also be president. You have to be filthy fucking rich and old. I think the youngest you can be to be president, 35 is the number that's coming to mind. So, I mean, the entire life I've led, I'm 34. So, I still can't be president. But, yeah. Wait a minute. Oh, I don't have a green Archon ready. I was going to raise a green Archon card. 1 second. Here you go, PJ. Here's a green card. All right, we derailed a little bit at the end of the stream there, but I ended it all on a win. That deck's pretty cool. I love that deck. It definitely causes a lot of grindy games, but I tend to like those. That being said, I am going to hop off and get to my other hobbies for the weekend. Spend some time with the wife. She'll be happy about that. But thanks everyone for hanging out. PJ, Mark, Mortivis, Orion, Goober, and then all the other people lurking. I won't call you out, but you know who you are. Oh, and Kelly. I'm so used to Kelly not being here. So welcome back, Kelly. Everyone else just lurking back to these. And, right? See, we can debate it. I'd say we don't necessarily agree, but we agree on some things. And we're not yelling at each other. I am going to get mad at you if you don't ever subscribe to me, though. I know you follow. We'll wait for that subscribe button to be available. But I will catch everyone on Friday. I'm going to stream some more Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I've been having an awesome time playing that game. And then Saturday I will be back playing some more Keyforge. Not quite sure what I'm going to do, but I'm sure I'll come up with something fun. And with that, when it comes to Keyforge, remember, Crystal Hive always advises, when in doubt, reap it out. Take care.